And with True Source certified honey.
Mind if I root through your trash?
The powerful cough relief you need.
Robitussin.
The sound of an American original. It's the Omaha Steaks President's Day event, and we're celebrating with our President's Day assortment. All for just $99.99. Save 50% site-wide and get free burgers when you visit omahasteaks.com/TV today.
Tonight on the Ingram Angle, 18 million Americans are smoking weed 21 days a month. So we're in a full-blown addiction crisis that even the New York Times is finally admitting. That's tonight on the Angle.
You know, there is something different.
My generalized myasthenia gravis was unpredictable and limited what I could do. But Ultomiris is continuous symptom control with improvement in activities of daily living. It is reduced muscle weakness, and Ultomiris is the only long-acting GMG treatment with the freedom of just 6 to 7 infusions per year for a predictable routine I can count on.
Ultomiris may lower your ability to fight infections, increasing your chance of serious meningococcal and other infections which may become life-threatening or fatal. Complete or update meningococcal vaccines at least 2 weeks before you start. If treatment is urgent, you should receive antibiotics with your vaccines. Don't start if you have a meningococcal infection. Infusion reactions may include back, belly, limb, or chest pain, muscle spasms, blood pressure changes, tiredness, shaking chills, bad taste, breathing problems, or face, tongue, or throat swelling. Ultomiris is continuous symptom control. Talk to your neurologist today.
The sausage egg biscuit is perfect.
Giờ còn có thêm sốt hot honey nữa nè.
I stand corrected.
Better than fine.
It has been a cold winter, but some warmer air funneling in, and things are going to look fairly mild over the next week, maybe more. These are the temperatures out there early this morning. You see Kansas City, 43 degrees. That is fairly calm. Now, there is a clipper system, one more kind of round of winter weather before that warm air ultimately gets into New England. This is today into this evening. Really just snow in interior portions of New England, right along the coast. Mostly just a rainmaker. Boston probably going to see a little bit of snow. Those pinks are the higher snowfall totals getting into some of those higher elevations. And then what about those temperatures as they spread out? These are your forecasted highs today. You see plenty of spots getting into the 50s and 60s. That just continues to spread across the country. And as we look at the week ahead, there's not really a major city across the country where temperatures will be at or below freezing. Those are the weather headlines for now. Ainsley,
okay, good deal. Thank you so much. Well, we are heading into day 2 of the landmark social media addiction trial, where big tech executives are still expected to testify. In opening statements, plaintiffs' attorneys argue that the trial is all about the ABCs, addicting the brains of children, raising new questions about accountability. And joining us live outside of the L.A. County Superior Court is Kurt, the cyber guy. Hey, Kurt, good morning.
Ainsley, good morning to you. And when he put those he brought in physical ABC blocks into the courtroom, that's attorney Mark Lemire for the plaintiff, who's this 20-year-old now gal from California, who is saying, you know, a lot of harm was brought to her from this case, but nonetheless, that got off to a rather fiery start in the court, and very dramatic, as you might imagine a good plaintiff attorney is. And then what really got revealed over the 2 hours of his opening statements yesterday was kind of interesting, especially the revelation of documents that were both from Google, YouTube, and then also Meta, which is Instagram. And, you know, the first one he introduced said in one Google memo, interesting, the goal is not viewership, it's viewer addiction. That was an internal memo from around 2010 that was introduced to the court saying, hey, that's kind of obvious what they're up to, what he's trying to prove. Another one from Meta in 2018 saying, if we want to win big with teens, we must bring them in as tweens. So he's trying to set up this idea that these big tech companies intentionally built and engineered algorithms and marketing in a way to draw in children, and that ultimately harm was brought to them.
So this is about a young lady. Her name, they're not telling us her name. It's KGM and her mother. And they're the ones that are, I'm sorry?
And GM.
Sorry?
We know that it's Caitlin, and it's...
Okay.
We know that her name is Caitlin, but not her last name.
Okay, so she's suing, saying that it caused her all kinds of distress, bullying, emotional problems, body image problems. We also, on Fox and Friends First, there was a mom. Her name's Maureen Molak, and her son, he committed suicide. His name was David. He was 16 years old. He was a star athlete, was injured, and then he started staying home and gaming and getting on social media. This is what she said earlier.
David was the youngest of three brothers. He grew up in a traditional Christian family that was full of love. It started on Instagram and it moved to various other platforms. And David ended up taking his life because he felt there was no way out of that situation. I was about 10 feet behind Mark Zuckerberg, and to be able to face him that closely after knowing what his platform did to David, I would have just been able to have just told him David's story and explained to him what families are going through trying to protect their kids on Instagram and the damage that he is complicit in and harming our children.
Now, Kurt, I am devastated for these moms. And of course, this is something that worries us about, raising our children. But where do you draw the line? How do you prove that that's exactly why someone committed suicide? Because is there a slippery slope here? Do we start? I mean, I played Tetris. I played Zelda. I was always trying to get to the next level. Super Mario Brothers. Those were all addictive because you're trying to get to the next level. But so how do you prove that this is why someone commits suicide? And does this open the door to other gaming, to gambling?
It's interesting. So that's what the defense is going to argue here today. YouTube's attorney will take the stand with his opening statements and arguments. And indeed, that will be echoed saying, hey, if you took us all out of the equation, the social media out of the equation, are you saying that this plaintiff would have none of these issues in her life? So, yes, that's an argument. They're also saying that the documents that are being presented by the plaintiff here are being twisted and turned to make, cherry picked to pull out certain sentiments that they're trying to get across in the courtroom and that they're not fair. We'll hear what they have to say very specifically. But like Maureen, who lost her son David, I met two of those parents here yesterday, and that's who's going to be lining up right behind me because they want to be front and center. They want to see the outcome of this case because it has been an extremely frustrating experience for anybody who believes that social media has been responsible for damaging someone in their family. They want to see justice, and so they're coming for this. And one thing that other attorneys are saying, because there are thousands of cases like this one in front of social media companies, this could be that bellwether that if they succeed and prevail in this case with a good outcome of winning, well, that then sends off essentially a benchmark that every attorney coming will then say, all right, I can now sue them and I can get X amount of money.
I know. There's so many factors here because maybe one is gaming, but if you're being bullied and your child is being bullied repeatedly on social media, that obviously is going to affect that teenager or that 7th grader. So there's so many different factors. We're all concerned. Thank you so much, Kurt.
It's complicated. Yeah, it's complicated. But I will say, the one really good thing about this is that this is going to wake up Congress. And that's what I like about this.
That's where the change is really. I mean, these lawsuits, a family might get money, but they might not, these social media platforms might not change their laws or their rules, but Congress could get involved. Thank you so much, Kurt. Great to see you.
Good to see you, Asa.
All right, investigators removing the surveillance cameras from the house of Nancy Guthrie. Are they any closer to getting some answers? Our next guest has been covering the case on the ground for more than a week, and the very latest is next.
People mix us up all the time. American Eagle, they make jeans. AmericanEagle.com, we build digital solutions. No dressing rooms, no denim racks, just websites, e-commerce, and digital marketing built for growth. We help medium to large companies with complex website projects, digital transformations, and strategies that scale. So if you're looking for jeans, you're in the wrong place. But if you're looking for digital excellence, you found the right Eagle. AmericanEagle.com, digital excellence tailored to you.
Champions trust Cosequin, the #1 vet-recommended retail joint health supplement brand.
Renewal by Andersen presents Expert Installation.
Hey, Sam. What's going on?
Hey, Joe, we're getting our new replacement windows installed. We went with Renewal by Andersen. Their replacement windows are among the best in the industry.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, Don. This is my neighbor, Joe.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, Don.
Providing our homeowners expert installation, that's our top priority. We never rush. Details like perfectly matching your window trim style matter to us. We always clean up thoroughly afterwards. Then, when the job is done, we walk you through a product demonstration and answer any questions you might have. And the one thing we always like to remind our homeowners is that when you go with Renewal by Andersen, installation is always included.
Installation is included? Heck, I paid a pretty penny for installation, and that was on top of the price of the windows themselves.
You can count on Renewal by Andersen to do the job right, on time, on budget. It's what you should expect from an industry leader.
Well, I've been watching your team install your windows, and I have to say they really know their stuff.
That's because our certified master installers are highly trained when it comes to installing your windows.
Impressive.
And they stand behind their product too, right, Don?
Because we sell, manufacture, and install your acclaimed windows, we absolutely stand behind both our product and our installation. Our industry-leading warranty is one of the best in the nation.
Before February 28th, save $400 on every window, save $850 on every patio door, and save $850 on every entry door. And our financing can help make this project more affordable with no money down, no monthly payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer ends February 28th. Call 1-800-704-4200.
It's an Olympics you'll never forget. From beautiful northern Italy, experience the world's biggest show. Prime time in Milan on NBC and Peacock.
My audience hearing aids helped me get my life back. I can hear my wife, I can hear the engine roar, and I can hear my granddaughter again. They were affordable, you can get them over the counter, I don't need a prescription, and they're easy to set up. I'm proud of my life, and I'm proud of my audience.
When Betty and George turned 50, they figured out that switching 2 unlimited lines from Big Wireless to Consumer Cellular could save people up to $600 a year. So they made the switch and started splurging on date night, and it became their favorite night. No, don't you dare. It's an acquired taste. If you're over 50, get 2 unlimited lines for $30 each. And right now, get your second month free. Call Consumer Cellular.
Your home just got smarter.
Clothes, drapes.
With Mood on command, you can browse hundreds of options, all on your house. No guesswork.
Perfect.
Don't. We send pros. We do all the work. You just relax. Nap level, masterclass, right? Private. Intimate. 3-day blinds. We design, we measure, we install. You relax. Your house, it just leveled up.
Entyvio is the only gut-focused treatment for moderate to severe Crohn's and UC. Gut-focused Entyvio works right where you need it to block inflammation in your gut. With a legacy of more than 10 years, Entyvio offers the experience you need, lasting relief and steroid-free remission. And some people experience rapid symptom relief. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. Although unlikely, PML, a rare brain infection that can result in death, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, sores, or are prone to infections. Liver problems can occur. With Entyvio, you may be able to pay as little as $0 per dose. Ask your doctor if Entyvio, including the Entyvio pen, is right for you.
Gut focused Entyvio.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
So the search for Savannah Guthrie's mother is now in day 10. The FBI team's removing cameras from the roof of the Guthrie home, and our next guest says perhaps they're hoping for better luck after the sheriff couldn't recover any video. Fox News digital reporter Michael Ruiz is covering the case on the ground, and he joins us live outside the Pima County Sheriff's Office in Tucson. Michael, it's good to see you. We worked together on the ground during the Kohlberger case in Idaho. Since you've been on the ground, what have you been able to learn specifically about that back building, or what they may call a pool house?
Yeah, Lawrence, good morning. So that back building, it's a pool house or some kind of guest house. It sits a little bit behind the main house, and there were at least 2 cameras on the roof. One was facing towards the street, one was facing the backyard. Now, early on in the investigation, the sheriff said that they could not recover any video from the home, but the FBI came in later in the week and physically took the cameras off the roof. Presumably, they're doing some kind of digital forensic analysis of whatever they could find on the cameras. It sounds like there was no subscription to a cloud service to preserve the video, and that these cameras had a limited ability to record. But we know that the FBI has a lot of technology, and they may be able to get something out of the cameras that the local sheriff couldn't.
So, Michael, I'm glad you pointed that out, because the FBI has the best technology. They just have the resources, the labs to be able to do that. But you're learning from some of your reporting, and I've confirmed this with some of my sources as well, that there have been some initial friction between the Bureau and the Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, we learned this last night. It sounds like it took days before they were really doing any kind of meaningful cooperation. And that may be why the FBI, days after the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, came to the house and got these cameras. If you go back to last Monday, the first press conference, we didn't visibly see an FBI presence there. Then on Tuesday, there's another press conference, and you see the special agent in charge of the local satellite office. I think the title is Assistant Special Agent. And it wasn't until Thursday that the special agent in charge of the field office out here in Phoenix came down and was physically present. And also, that same agent, we saw him at the home of Annie Guthrie going into the house a little bit before the first video response came in to that purported ransom note. So he was in there, perhaps with the family, as they were recording it.
Michael, can you tell me, you're very good about going out there talking with the people. What is the community saying there on the ground?
You know, there's a lot of concern for just an innocent elderly victim taken from her home in the dead of the night. It definitely rubs people the wrong way. There's apprehension, there's fear, there's concern. It's a strange vibe, and it's a big town here. I mean, the county has about 1 million people, but it's also a small town feel, and a lot of people that you run into have some kind of connection to everybody else you run into. So there's a sense of community here. There's a sense of an attack on the community, and we still have no answers.
Yeah, so Michael, Fox News Digital photographed some surveillance cameras along the route between Annie Guthrie and Nancy Guthrie's house. What did you see?
So, Lawrence, there are cameras everywhere in this county. It looks like almost every red light intersection has cameras. There are other, they call them flock cameras. They're all over the roads around here. There's also businesses with, nowadays, it's 2026, almost every business has a surveillance camera outside facing the road. They're hoping that some of these cameras caught something of interest to the investigation. And that's what they were sweeping over the weekend and last week, looking for stuff to give them clues and identify, right, a person of interest, a vehicle of interest, a suspect. Officially, they say that they haven't identified anyone yet, but they're doing a lot of work. You can see them around town. You can see them canvassing neighborhoods. They are clearly following down leads, and they're also soliciting more tips from the public. They want anybody who saw anything to report it.
It's going to be interesting how they piece this together. It's terrible that the FBI is just now getting involved to process that data when it comes to the cameras there. But I'm also hearing on the ground that it's hard to get a good quality shot because there's all these restrictions on these cameras with the lights. So it's going to be curious to see how this all plays out right there. But we got to get Nancy home. So hopefully they'll work better together on the ground. Thanks so much for joining the program, Michael.
Thank you for having me.
So President Trump betting big on his plan to grow the economy. Charles Payne is here to break it all down, what it means for your wallet. Next.
My moderate to severe plaque psoriasis held me back, but now I'm all in with clearer skin, thanks to Skyrizi.
Most people achieved clearer skin from head to toe. Many were 100% plaque-free. And many were completely clear, even at 5 years.
also saw significant improvement in pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new plan. Because nothing is everything.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Did you know that your life insurance policy is an asset that you can sell? Hi, I'm Jay Jackson. I'm the CEO of Abacus Life, and for almost 20 years, we've been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. In fact, you can use the free policy value calculator at abacuspays.com, and in just seconds, you can learn what your policy might be worth. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus.
Well, a little birdie told me rates are taking a dip, which means that dream home won't be there forever. Don't let someone else beat you to it. Start your search today. Make it real with Realtor.com.
Light. It guides our every waking moment. What we do and how we do it. But the amount of light we need can change in an instant. And when it does, you can control it. 3-day blinds. Find the light for your life. Visit 3dayblinds.com to get started.
Empire's 50-50-50 sale. Up to 50% off select carpet and flooring. Up to 50% off padding and materials. Up to 50% off installation. Visit EmpireToday.com or call or text.
800-588-2300 Empire. The sound of an American original. It's the Omaha Steaks President's Day event, and we're celebrating with our President's Day assortment, all for just $99.99. Save 50% site-wide and get free burgers when you visit omahasteaks.com/TV today.
I wanted to have control over drinking instead of alcohol having control over me. I started with Or Health about a year ago. It put the brakes on that I had been looking for. I can drink less and say no, and it's the best feeling in the world.
Text Fox News to 710-710 to learn more.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
Are you okay?
Don't wait. Ask your doctor about another treatment option. Learn more at ismtreatment.com.
Ow. Ugh, that's what a gentleman smells like, okay? Yep, that's it.
What are you doing tonight? If he smells this good, he's got my attention.
Gravite. Visit trygravite.com. Use the promo code on your screen to get 25% off.
Can I keep this guy?
Trygravite.com.
Does menopause or perimenopause sound like this to you?
Gaining weight, night sweats, insomnia. I was grumpy.
It doesn't have to. Let MIDI's midlife experts provide the relief you deserve. Join MIDI.com.
I am naturally biased because I just joined Ridge as the chief creative partner, but I'm just going to speak facts here. It's slim, it's RFID blocking, it's awesome, it's comfortable, I love it. I carry it every day. And then every wallet at Ridge.com has like an unlimited lifetime warranty, so you don't have to worry about it falling apart. Check it out at Ridge.com.
I'll tell you, if our new head of the Fed, who I think is going to be great, but if he does the job that he's capable, we can grow at 15%. I think more than that.
Wow, President Trump betting on his new Federal Reserve pick to grow the economy and boost your bottom line. Can that happen? We're going to ask the host of Making Money on Fox Business, Charles Payne. Charles, you heard that. Your buddy Larry Kudlow solicited that answer. Is it practical?
I think it is practical. Obviously, 15 is a high number, but go back to what President Trump and his team have been orchestrating this whole time. Make America great again. What period are they talking about? Think about maybe the 1950s, where we come out of the war, and that's called the Golden Age. And we had amazing. In fact, 1950, we grew over 13% GDP, right? So the entire decade, we grew. Wages were up 3.5% on average. Inflation was only 2%. The middle class exploded. I mean, absolutely exploded. You went from, 3 million people having a TV to 55 million people having a TV, 25 million people with a car to 60 million people with a car. You have people living in the suburbs, home ownership. We can do that again. And one of the big problems has been the Federal Reserve has come in time after time when they see the slightest increase in wages. In other words, they always hammer down Main Street and they crush Main Street. They take your credit card interest rates from 16% to 22, 24%. And that's just nuts, right? Allow our economy to flourish.
Do you think Kevin Walsh has that philosophy from what you just looking at his track record?
I do. His track record is varied, but I think he's evolved, over time also. He's a brilliant guy. I heard him speak about 4 months ago, and I was on the fence, and then he blew me away. He absolutely blew me away. Between Walsh, Bessent, Myron, this brain trust, it's just phenomenal. You've got President Trump, who's sort of the leadership over all of that. We're going to take a different approach because right now the approach we're on has skewed everything. You look over the last 30 years, the share of wealth that goes to corporations, that goes to the top 1% versus people working for a living, they've gone in opposite direction. So the wealthy are here and everyone else is down here. And here's the irony. They have regular folks living to give their money to wealthy folks. They've skewed everything. And a lot of that's because of the Federal Reserve.
Just so you know, Scott Bessent did my radio show every month for about a year and a half before he got named. His main focus was income disparity. Yeah. And that's what you just
The wealth disparity is ugly. And I'm telling you, if we weren't such a rich nation, we would have had a revolution already.
And if you want to get richer, you got to watch Charles Payne at 2 o'clock, Making Money. It's a verb for a reason. He's always in action, and I love when you stand up and do your charts and graphs. Thanks so much,
buddy.
Charles.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And by the way, on social media, Charles was yelling at me for about 15 minutes. Check it out. I posted it in a fun way. More Fox and Friends in a moment.
COPD is an ugly reality.
Do you have his medical history?
I watch as this world just keeps getting smaller. But then, Trelegy helped us see things a little differently. With 3 medicines and 1 inhaler, Trelegy keeps airways open for a full 24 hours and prevents future flare-ups. Once daily Trelegy also improves lung function, so he can breathe more freely all day and night.
Trelegy won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Do not take Trelegy more than prescribed. Trelegy may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
What a wonderful world. Ask your doctor about once daily Trelegy for COPD, because breathing should be beautiful all day and night.
Eye bags, dark spots, wrinkles.
There's one product that can fight them all.
Only one.
Particle Face Cream.
Particle Face Cream.
Engineered for men, made for our skin,
And backed by science, and it actually works.
My eye bags before, this was me, and this is me today.
Dark spots used to be brutal. Now, they're barely there.
My wrinkles were deep. Look at the difference.
I honestly didn't think a cream could do this, and it literally takes 2 minutes a day.
1 minute in the morning.
And 1 minute at night. Super easy.
Super effective.
And compared to everything else I considered, it's actually inexpensive.
It's everything I need in one bottle.
If you've had enough of those
eye bags,
dark spots, wrinkles, there's only one product you need.
Visit ParticleMen.com and use the promo code on your screen to get 25% off, free shipping, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. ParticleMen.com.
To those who innovate, who solve problems, who build for tomorrow. What you wear must stand up to the job, not hold you back. That's why TrueWork designs performance workwear, engineered with advanced materials to be lighter, warmer, faster drying, and ready for real job site conditions. Built like it matters, because it does. TrueWork, performance workwear. Shop now at truework.com.
On Medicare, living with diabetes, progress is having your coffee like you like it. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor is covered by Medicare for more people managing diabetes with insulin. This is progress. Ask your doctor today.
Your home just got smarter.
Clothes, drapes.
With Mood on command, you can browse hundreds of options, all on your house. No guesswork.
Perfect.
Don't. We send pros. We do all the work. You just relax. Nap level, masterclass, right? Private. Intimate. 3-day blinds. We design, we measure, we install. You relax. Your house, it just leveled up.
We always love decorating for the holidays.
But not the struggle of wrestling boxes and tubs back up to the attic.
Then we got the VersaLift.
And I can send it all back to the attic with just the push of a button.
Why risk injury?
With the VersaLift, you can safely move items to and from the attic.
Decorating
Or undecorating.
is a joy when you have the VersaLift.
Visit VersaLiftHome.com and save with promo code FOX33.
Hey folks, it's your friend John Rich. I co-founded Old Glory Bank because we heard too many stories about people getting canceled by their bank because they didn't agree with their politics. The government wanted to know where you shopped. If you bought a Bible or you shopped at a sporting goods store, you're probably on a list. We created Old Glory Bank because America needed a bank that would protect their privacy and security. Exercising your constitutional rights is not a criminal activity, and neither is loving your country. At Old Glory Bank, we stand with you.
With Choice Privileges, every 5 nights you stay, you can unlock something you'll really value. Look who earned enough points for an exclusive experience at the racetrack. My hair does that too. Get triple points on stays with Choice Privileges.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
Straight to a Fox News alert. The desperate search for Nancy Guthrie is entering day 10, and officials still have no suspects or persons of interest in her disappearance.
The 84-year-old's family is begging for help as these missing persons billboards, take a look, go up across the Southwest to help extend the search.
And as the final alleged ransom deadline passes, Nancy's daughter, Savannah, is making a plea to the public for any information on her mother. Watch.
We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help, no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson. If you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation.
Matt Finn is live outside of Nancy Guthrie's house in Tucson, Arizona with the latest. Matt?
Hi, Ainsley. Our understanding is that the Guthrie family did not pay that ransom deadline, so it begs the question of whether this is a kidnapping or perhaps something else. Also, the FBI saying it is not aware of the family being in contact with any other alleged kidnappers. The FBI writing it is not aware of any continued communication between the Guthrie family and suspected kidnappers, nor have we identified a suspect or person of interest in this case at this time. We are currently operating a 24-hour command post that includes crisis management experts, analytic support, and investigative teams, but we still need the public's help. Someone has that one piece of information that can help us bring Nancy home. We need that person to share what they know. Another notable point here, it's not clear what the second alleged ransom note said to the family. 13 News in Tucson reports it's not releasing the details of that message out of respect for the family and the investigation. Savannah's latest video seems to be more personal. She says it is an hour of desperation. Also, a source close to the situation clarifies to Fox that Nancy Guthrie was not expected physically at church the morning she went missing. Rather, she was going to watch a live stream. The source telling Fox on February 1st, Nancy did not arrive at her friend's house as expected to watch the live stream. Concerned, the friend contacted Annie, Nancy's daughter, and Savannah Guthrie's sister to report that Nancy had not shown up and could not be reached. Also, we've been talking to experts. I talked to a federal prosecutor who says regarding that Bitcoin wallet, that can remain anonymous, but if you deposited funds into that Bitcoin wallet, once you go to remove the funds or cash in, that's when it becomes much more traceable. Back to you guys in New York.
Okay, that's new information. So we know for a fact they did not pay the ransom.
TMZ was reporting yesterday that they had not paid it yesterday, and we have not received any word that they did. No indication that they did.
Okay, thank you so much, Matt.
And significant because we're not talking about that now. Savannah Guthrie was not talking about, was not talking about the ransom. And the ransom note, I don't know if she lost faith that it's real or that she just said, well, the deadline's passed. She said, I know that she would have said something similar to, I know the deadline's passed, but instead it was, I just need your help.
But remember, it was, if you show us proof of life, we will pay the ransom.
Early, yes, early. And that seems to have gone. Then the second one, no, don't show us proof of life. Just a lot of references to...
We understand.
Yeah, we understand, and get to ask her.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see, and we want to celebrate, bring her home.
We want to celebrate with her.
But she wasn't talking to those alleged kidnappers yesterday.
I just think it's so important. When we started this 10 days ago, we were talking about Savannah Guthrie's background, not just as a broadcaster, but she's the chief legal anchor as well. She covers all these crime stories. She has all these sources in the FBI. She knows all these players. Her and Pam Bondi have been friends for more than 30 years. If she is now to the point now where she's speaking to the public directly and kind of distancing herself, not from the investigation, but making her personal plea now, that tells you that maybe there's nothing there.
Yeah, I think that was her way. Was my interpretation of it is, okay, I've done everything that the experts have told us to do.
Yeah.
We've written scripts, we've read from the pages. Now this is we're approaching day 10. Today's day 10. And she says, all right, I'm going to follow my gut. I'm going to talk to my audience because that's what I do for a living. So let me talk to my audience and get personal and just tell them, thank you for your prayers. My mother somehow, some way is hearing your prayers. And don't stop praying because prayer does work. Hopefully we can bring her home and they can have peace.
Right. They're still trying to pull out all the stops. I mean, a couple of days ago in the septic tank. Why? There's not sewers. They don't flow to the street. Everything stays. Did some person who was in there for 45 minutes from when he got in to when she left, did someone do something that would be in their septic tank?
Mm-hmm.
So
flush something down the toilet.
Flush something down the toilet. And we don't know. We don't know anything positive from that because they seem to be at ground zero.
It's actually, that's a good point to pick up on. Let's bring in retired FBI Supervisor Agent James Gagliano, live outside of Nancy Guthrie's home, and Fox News contributor, criminal defense attorney Josh Ritter is live outside the Pima County Sheriff's Office in Tucson. Josh, to you first, can you explain to us, because you used to work in the LA District Attorney Office, and even though that's not an investigative agency, you get the investigation to prosecute the bad guys. Is it normal not to share information up this point, to at least to the victims themselves, even if they're working on the investigation? Maybe they have information, but they're not willing to share.
The investigators' primary concern is the integrity of the investigation. So they will do whatever they feel serves that purpose best. If that includes sharing information with the public, sure. And we're seeing that here. They're essentially starting to crowdsource this case. If that includes sharing information with the family members, they'll do that as well. But like I said, they're always going to serve the integrity of the investigation, and that does sometimes and oftentimes does mean that they're not going to entirely share information with us. I think what we're seeing here, though, is definitely, and you've all pointed this out, is definitely a pivot in the way that they are approaching the investigation, and Savannah's own words, I think, indicate that as well, that there is all indications that they not only are not addressing the ransomers, not even talking about the ransom, may not even be considering it illegitimate anymore. So we might be back to square one in that they're just working the pavement, trying to follow leads and do, detective work with the evidence that they have on scene. Now, that doesn't necessarily put us in a helpless situation. We are a week out. I'm shocked that they don't have any more solid leads at this point, but I think this investigation has turned more analytical. What I mean by that is that they've got a bunch of data. They've seized electronic devices, digital devices, vehicles. There's cell phone towers in the area, and they're now processing all of that, which can take some time. But I think there is going to be a break in this, and if it does come, it might come through that digital analysis.
Do you think, James, do you think you need a fresh set of eyes on this? And if you were the family, would you hire a private investigative team, which he's got so many contacts, or would that complicate things?
Brian, I think it would complicate things. And a case with this level of celebrity, I mean, you really have to go back to the Lindbergh baby kidnapping in 1932, the Frank Sinatra Jr. kidnapping in 1963, Patty Hearst in 1974. For a kidnapping case to have this level of notoriety. Look, I'm going to speak as an old FBI agent. We never wanted the involvement of outside private investigators. They have a role to do and perform in society. But in this instance, you have the President of the United States, Brian, coming down and saying you have the federal law enforcement arm of our government at your avail. I don't think that anything else from the outside could be added in. And I'll say two more things is quickly, this case, if there is DNA involved, and that does take time to process, whether they pulled something out of the house, which is right behind me here, or pulled it from another residence or somewhere else, it takes time. The FBI uses CODIS. What is that? It's an apparatus that we use called the Combined DNA Index System. Two ways to get DNA in there. Either you were convicted of a felony or some misdemeanors, or you're a sex offender. You're compelled to do it by court order, or you do it voluntarily. So you do it voluntarily how? 23andMe, all those ancestry DNA sites, and you add it in. That's how the Golden State Killer was found out in California in 2018, 20 years after his last victim. So here's the issue on that. You need probable cause to get a search warrant to take DNA from somebody if they're not arrested. So I'm certain that these things are going on. They're being processed. And to Josh's point, it just takes time. The mechanics of investigations like this, one as baffling as this one, just is going to take some time.
All right, Josh, you worked at the LA DA's office for a long time, and you know these types of cases. We saw on Brian Kohberger. The authorities knew more than they were telling us. Everyone around America is like, how can they not find out who did this? There has to be traces of blood or fighting back or DNA under fingernails. How do you just walk into someone's house and kill 4 people and there's no evidence? And then all along we found out they did have a lead. They just didn't want to tell the public for obvious reasons. So could that be the case here? And why do you think, are you frustrated that it is taking so long, or is that just normal?
I think it absolutely could be the case here. I think investigators in the Brian Kohberger case, I'm glad you brought that up, knew for 11 days before an arrest was made, and they kept that secret from everyone. And we understand so. I mean, I'm not trying to blame them for that. Again, as long as they're serving the integrity of the investigation, if they feel like keeping that information private is best, then they need to do that, and that's because they had him under surveillance while they were continuing to confirm the leads that they had. So that could definitely be taking place in this case. It is, in this modern day and age, I think we fall under this idea that no crime is not solved quickly. With the amount of surveillance that we have, with the amount of DNA technology that we have, this case does seem like something that I would have, when I first heard this break on Sunday, I would have thought within a couple of days we would have somebody in custody. The fact that we're over a week out into day 10 and we still don't have a lead, even according to the FBI, lead or person of interest, is shocking to me. But that doesn't mean that there's not a lot of activity taking place behind the scenes we're not aware of.
So James, and we've been talking about this on the couch, and we want to be careful because we know family is near and dear to our heart, and Savannah Guthrie is a colleague. And so we want to talk about this gently. You have the police chief through either statements, the sheriff, either through statements on social media or through publicly, to continue to say, right now, family is not a person of interest or a suspect. But when I look at the investigative scene at the sister's house, and I see tools, whether it's the Celebrite technology to extract the data, or the photos that are being taken to detect blood, those are two different things going back and forth. What are we to make of that?
Yeah, it's if we're gonna distill things down and look at the investigative tea leaves here, I've said from the start, Lawrence, I felt it was more important not to put information out unless you were 100% certain. It's always better to be late and right than early and wrong. And I thought early on, and this is not casting shade at any one department, the FBI has made mistakes in the past too, we always try to refine our messages, put out exactly what needs to be put out, and don't put out too much information, or like I say, flood the zone. Put out things that could be actionable leads. Now, can you read into seeing investigators going to a family member's house? Well, we know in investigations like this, anytime there's some type of violence or an abduction, you always look at people with intimate knowledge, intimate familiarity with the victim. In this case, she has 3 children. She has an extended family. So yes, you do start there. But I also don't think you can read into visiting a daughter's house. Why is that? Well, the mother spent plenty of time there as well, too. So there might be part of that as part of this investigation. So hard on this side sometimes to distill these things down. This is, again, it's going to be solved through the digital exhaust. That is a painstaking process. And hopefully, look, I've seen the billboards out, advertising it out here. The old school billboards, you're driving down I-19 and you can see things like that. I think it's going to be a combination of things that eventually solves this case.
And Savannah's mom spent her last night before disappearing playing games and eating dinner, we think, at Annie's house. So that makes sense that they would search that house. They're not saying that they're suspects. They're just saying we need to find out where she was last seen.
Thanks so much, James.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. And you can watch Josh streaming live on foxnation.com. I think it's at 5 p.m. today. Paul Morrow is also up there.
Okay, we are heading into day 2 of the landmark social media addiction trial against Meta and Google.
And Google is set to begin their opening statements today.
Fox Business correspondent Kelly Sabari joins us now outside the courthouse in Los Angeles. Hey, Kelly.
Good morning, team. Yes, yesterday we heard from both the plaintiff's side and Meta's team for opening statements. Today we will hear from Google's side. They will be tried separately. Now, I want to take you through what the plaintiff's defense went through, or excuse me, not defense, but legal team. They say that Google's secret map will be part of their key evidence here. They allege that Google's internal documents explicitly say things like, quote, goal is not viewership, it's viewer addiction. Attorneys then brought out plaintiff KGM, who we can now identify as Kaylee. She will be testifying, and therefore she will not be able to watch the trial from the gallery. And her mother will testify as well. And this is important because as the two sides spoke, Meta and the plaintiff's team painted a very different picture of Kaylee's upbringing. Lawyers for Meta looked into her health care records. This is her psychiatry and therapy records, trying to prove that she sought help for her mental health long before entering into using any social media. The defense says she had a tumultuous childhood, which they think played a bigger part in affecting her mental health than use of Meta's Instagram. Meta's defense also questioned how many times Kaylee actually mentioned Instagram or any social media in these therapy or psychiatry sessions at all. Again, today, we will hear from Google. They will do their opening statements. And at the end of all of this, jurors will have to decide separately who is at fault here. Back to you.
Wow. The whole country's watching this. Thanks so much, Kelly. Appreciate it.
Okay, let's hand it over to Carly. She has some headlines for us.
That's right, guys. And from California to New York, we go. Overnight, a massive 4-alarm fire tore through a New York City home, killing a woman and injuring 9 others, including 2 firefighters. The fire broke out on the first floor of a Queens apartment building and quickly rose to the top, spreading to the neighbor's home. The battle to put out the flames lasted into the morning. Rescue crews are still looking for one person who is reported missing. It is unknown at this time what sparked that fire. Happening today, the House and Senate will hold hearings on the alleged $9 billion Minnesota fraud scandal. Lawmakers will investigate the oversight and fraud and the misuse of federal funds in the state. And this comes as a woman from Minnesota was sentenced to 1 year in prison for defrauding the government out of over $325,000 worth of SNAP benefits. Prosecutors say the woman, her daughter, and other relatives falsely claimed to be experiencing high-risk pregnancies in order to get more funds from the government. Parents have a new way to reap the rewards of Trump accounts following this Super Bowl ad.
Every American child gets an investment account, and millions will be pre-funded. That's free money. We can all experience the American dream.
Parents can now go to trumpaccounts.gov and fill out an IRS form to opt in. The other option is to claim their child's Trump account on their 2025 tax returns. Trump accounts start every child off with $1,000, an investment of $1,000. All American children under 18 are eligible for an account. And those are your headlines, guys.
It's free
Over to
money,
you.
right?
Yeah.
So we all need
Sure
to do
is.
that.
Yep. Great ad on the Super Bowl.
Bingo.
Very effective.
Thanks, Carly.
You're welcome.
So a sweeping crackdown by the Trump administration is zeroing in on California. Over $1 billion in fraud they're having there.
Plus, he is known as the Kirkland King. Steve catches up with the viral sensation preaching more than just good deals.
Leaving with a 6-pack of flashlights, 32 pairs of socks, and a PlayStation 5. You ever see a Costco commercial before? Me neither. You don't have to advertise when you're the best. If it's not sold in bulk, I don't trust it.
When it fits you. When it thrills you. When it connects and protects. This is 140 years of Mercedes-Benz innovation. It's more than a feeling. It's a bond. Experience everything a Mercedes-Benz SUV has to offer today. When dry eyes need a boost,
Blink. Ready, set, blink.
up to 10 hours of relief to help you keep going. Relief with every blink.
Machine learning is advancing, but businesses wonder if some machines can keep up.
Let's welcome our new coworker, Jeff.
Copier has a great idea.
Wonder if it's the same idea as yesterday.
It's a performance issue, really. I know people push your buttons, but you still have to deliver.
Anything can change the world of work. ADP Assist is AI, informed by workplace data and designed for the next anything.
Do you care where the economy is headed? What about elections? Or climate change? See the forecast consensus on our future at IBKR Forecast Trader. If you disagree, you can buy the contract that looks undervalued. But be careful. You must be right more than 50.5% of the time to win. Go to IBKR Forecast Trader.
Your sisters are running early.
Early? This headache.
We've got an hour. Try Painquil.
The max strength liquid pain reliever that starts working fast. Painquil, the aches, pain, strains, head pounding, back aching, fights pain fast medicine.
My dad has never been in better shape. He had a stroke and passed away. He had a life insurance policy. Ethos.com. In 10 minutes, you can be covered with life insurance.
Check your price today at ethos.com.
Light. It guides our every waking moment. What we do and how we do it. But the amount of light we need can change in an instant. And when it does, you can control it. 3-day blinds. Find the light for your life. Visit 3dayblinds.com to get started.
Sleep Number's best deals are on now. Take 50% off our limited edition mattress, plus 0% interest for 24 months on comfort that adapts to you night after night. Shop now for a limited time, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Nikki Haley on Special Report, analyzing President Trump's impact at home and abroad, and how his policies are setting the tone for the elections ahead. Brett has the must-see interview tonight.
I was being told it was all in my head. That's just stress. I actually thought I was going mad.
Welcome to getting older.
It's normal. Just deal with it.
You're fine. We've been fine for generations as doctors dismissed our symptoms of perimenopause and menopause.
Gaining weight, night sweats, insomnia. I was grumpy.
Yeah. Not fine.
And then I found MIDI. I felt so heard.
Symptoms are messages. MIDI's medical experts help you decode them and find relief. MIDI, because you deserve better than fine.
We asked women one simple question. What makes a man a gentleman?
A gentleman always pays for dinner
Always. A gentleman looks like they put in some effort. They can't have just rolled out of bed. A gentleman always holds open the door. It's just good manners. A gentleman saves himself for marriage.
These days, being a gentleman can be challenging, but smelling like one, that's easy.
Wow. Ugh. That's what a gentleman smells like, okay? Yep, that's it. What are you doing tonight? If he smells this good, he's got my attention.
Gravite. Visit trygravite.com. Use the promo code on your screen to get 25% off.
Can I keep this guy?
trygravite.com.
So one lawmaker demanded an investigation to the rampant fraud in his state as the Trump administration suspends more than 100,000 California borrowers suspected of stealing nearly $9 billion in COVID ERA fraud. The California Post editorial board cheering the move as, quote, "This is what anti-fraud action looks like." California Post opinion editor Joel Pollack joins us now. Joel, it's great that the White House found all this fraud, but where's the governor?
Well, the governor's presided over fraud really as a business model in California. This is not the first major fraud to come out during Governor Gavin Newsom's administration. During COVID, the unemployment